Okay, so just to cap off week 6 on the topic of work and work-life balance, you need to think about how we define work, because some of the toughest jobs that you'll do have nothing to do with getting paid, i.e. being a parent. The idea of being a student, trying to think about your student life as this is your full-time career, this is your full-time job now. Thinking about the difference between a job and a career. You might have multiple jobs, but you'll only ever have one career. And the pursuit of what drives you, what are you passionate about, what are you going to enjoy, because you're going to be spending a lot of time at work. Let's face it, you want to be doing something that's meaningful to you. So thinking about how that's going to play out in your life and your lifestyle. If you are only driven by money and financial rewards, I'm not sure that that's going to give you a great deal of life satisfaction and going to get you through the monotony of work, the highs, the lows, and the challenges that come with any modern workplace. I'd like you to think about the term professionalism. In some of the tutorials, we discuss this term professionalism. We throw it around, we use it interchangeably, but how do we define what it means or what constitutes being professional? So like the concept of work and how we define work, these are really largely multi-dimensional constructs that have a number of ways of defining them, and depending on your perspective, it can be very subjective. There are objective measures, but it's also a very subjective analysis that you need to think about for yourself before you carry on with your undergraduate studies, your postgraduate studies, as well as your placements, your volunteering, and potentially your future careers. Thinking about how that plays out, there are so many ways that work is being expressed these days, from compressed working weeks to flexi time to job sharing, home telecommuting. We look for benefits in our work, whether it's recreation leave or personal leave, maternity leave, paternity leave, whether it's looking at going on sabbatical or getting a subsidized work plan. There are a whole number of different ways that organisations are trying to create initiatives to create better work-life balance for their employees in order to improve overall work satisfaction. When we look at the benefits to the business by actually trying to strive towards work-life balance, it's going to reduce turnover. This is largely going to save organisations a lot of money. There's going to be better physical and mental health around. We're going to see that people are more likely to return to work, that people have reduced absenteeism, therefore costing organisations less, improved job satisfaction, improved employee retention, improved performance. It's actually in an organisation's benefit as well as the individual employee's benefit to strive towards this work-life balance. So how would you achieve work-life balance within your own career and your own disciplinary area? It's the pursuit of us socially, it's the pursuit of us professionally, as well as hopefully personally. But it is a real challenge for modern households and modern adults dealing with the 21st century and the constraints that we experience. So employees, and they did some research in 2009, and they looked at people's perceptions of work-life balance. And it was funny because employees actually expected to put their jobs before their personal life and before their family life. So 36.5% of employees expected to put their jobs before their family or their friends or before themselves. That seems to me like a misprioritization of resources, of focus, of attention. Surely at the heart and soul of us all is the individual, and that's where the focus should be. So this research really challenges us all to think about where are we going in, how are we moving forward within society when people are expected to put their work before everything else. I don't know that that's the way forward. So it is complicated, and how we actually strive to address these issues is an ongoing challenge for all of us. When we think about the big philosophical questions, is paid work beneficial or harmful to life outside of work? Yeah, both perspectives are valid. We could argue that the positive spillover effect of work is that it gives us more meaning, that it gives us more value, that we learn more skills, abilities, confidence, you name it. But likewise, we cannot ignore the negative spillover effect of stress, fatigue, anxiety, and decreased life satisfaction if we don't have that enjoyment in our work. Obviously, what can be done to support a good work-life balance or good work-life interaction, we've got to look at the time and what's the quality and the quantity of time that you're investing into your work, as well as then what's the quality of the work and the quantity of work that you're actually trying to achieve. These are the modern challenges of work. So I will leave it there for you. It gives you plenty to think about, not only in terms of the role that work plays in your life, as well as the quantity of work and how you see that being played out. I would strive for you to think about what is work to you and where do you see it taking a focus in your life. Do you see yourself working for an organisation, a traditional private business? Do you see yourself working for the government? That you see yourself in the public sector? Do you see yourself working for a not-for-profit organisation and really trying to help those from disadvantaged backgrounds? These are the challenging questions that you're going to confront over potentially the next 6 months as you move into your undergraduate degrees, or certainly over the next 6 years. I know that it took me a while to figure out what I wanted to do, and then it kind of came about in a very obtuse, unusual way. So sometimes our calling for work comes when we least expect it. But there's some really good readings there. I would encourage you to read the Maureen article that I popped online on the Learn Online site, and then please have a look at a couple of the clips. There's a TED talk there that I think is really useful for you, and this is all really good stuff to reflect upon and think about the changing nature of work and the role that work is going to play in your life moving forward over the next 10, 20 years. So it's been a pleasure. This is a make-up lecture for week 6 in Australian Culture and Society. I'm Dr. Bianca Price, and have a good break. Thanks.